Hey Pisces, welcome back to Deku Tarot and welcome to your weekly tarot and astrology for July 13th through the 19th of 2020. So, Pisces Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. We are deep into Cancer season. Mercury is now direct. It's still in its shadow period. In terms of astrology, we're just going to dip our toe into it throughout the reading this week just because there's so much happening energy-wise right now. It's really hard to read it, honestly. It's really hard to go into it all because it's all very prevalent in how things are playing out in a more global sense, and with the news and everything that's happening, just everything going on. I would definitely check out the astrology. So check that out over at, like White Light Astrology. He does a really good monthly overview and really explains like the astrological background of what the heck is happening right now, because I'm sure you guys are feeling just the overwhelming amount of information, and that is just, we're just barraged with every single day right now. I mean, you wake up and you learn all these new horrible things, you see this, and I mean, it's just been crazy. It's just been absolutely crazy. If you guys are wondering what's going on with my face, and it's also raining, but my face got all scratched up. I was at work and I tripped and I fell into some incense. We dip incense at work, and those little sticks will just really scratch up your face, is something that I learned this week. So it's looking a lot better than it did earlier in the week right now. I look like I had been through something. So, and as you can hear, as soon as I started your reading, it just started downpouring. One of the many reasons we took the readings inside, I think it was like the first, Cancer, Cap, Gemini, and Sagittarius, they were all outside, and I think Libra. And then I had to go inside because it was just getting really hot and really rainy. Anyways, let's get into your reading here. I'm sure you guys are like, all right, let's get on with the reading. So, Hobbit deck is what we're using, and we're going to look at your week ahead. Wow. Oh, can we please not fall out like that? Okay. Here we go. As you can see, like I said, it's very humid. Wow. Don't be afraid to make some changes in your path ahead. I feel right now that this is coming up in a lot of the readings, is that we're all kind of at this crux of things are not obviously panning out the way we've wanted them to. And the frustration that has felt over all this, especially, already being in the 7th month of the year, we're like, okay, when is the COVID situation gonna end? When is this gonna end? When are these things gonna stop feeling like, when are things gonna feel back to normal? Well, there is no more baseline normal, so let that go. Let's just let that one go real quick here. Let's just deal with that real quick. And it could feel really difficult to make some changes here. Because when death comes up reverse, I always feel that there is this, not so much inability, but a hesitancy to really change, to hesitancy to really let things go, to change here. It's a stagnation, and it has a lot to do with ego and how we felt, well, I've already built myself up to be this. I've already, put all this time, effort, energy into creating this aspect of my life, into this aspect of myself, this passion, this thing that essentially might even, I believe, define me. This is one of the defining factors of me. Like, say you've studied law or something like that, or history your whole life, and now all of a sudden you're really starting to question what you want to do with that. And it could have a lot to do with, what's coming out right now and everything happening. You could be becoming disillusioned with what you used to do and not feel so attached to it, not feel that you want it to define you anymore. And yet there's this inertia and but a stagnation in changing that and letting that go, and letting something that we've built ourselves up with die. Ooh, you know what? No, before we even pull some more, let's tackle that. Get a really strong energy pull there. All right. That Knight of Pentacles and that Five of Swords. I mean, what a call out card. I love this. This is like my call out postcard. It's like, oh, whoa, whoa, whoa. Do you think you're going to sneak away with that? Did you really think you were going to get away with that? Did you think that it was going to go this way this time? I don't think so. This is like the call out, like, get your ass back over here and we're going to have it out, or I'm going to go make you do this, because you don't get to just leave without, fixing this. You're not leaving without a fight. And this is based on, this long-term road of growth here. And in a global sense, I feel like this is, this time of like calling out what is wrong. As we, okay, this is the way we've been doing things. And again, this is all that Jupiter and Capricorn energy here. What is unsustainable is not going to work anymore. And now that is retrograde, we have to face that uncomfortably and make those changes. We have to put the work in, or now it is so obvious that, these things that we've built up, the way that society even is built, that the government, that the way, even like law, the, police forces, all these things that are not doing what they should be doing and what they were made for. So it's time to remake it all. It's time to start calling out what's wrong and saying something, fighting against, okay, well, we have this plan set and this is the tried and true way forward. I don't think so anymore. Let's talk about how it's not, and let's find a better way forward. Let's shoot our arrow and commit to new goals, new ideals, new ways of going about it. Because if we continue to do that, are we going to hit any change? Isn't that what we're all fighting for? Isn't this what I need? These are big things for you this week. And even within yourself, again, about work and about your drive, it feels like to me like a lot of you are questioning, what you've dedicated your life to. And if it's time to step away from it. And there's a lot of internal fighting about that, because maybe we had plans moving forward and something that we've wanted to do, and it feels almost like an inner betrayal or an inner call out to be like, you're not going to do that, or that's not going to happen, or why do you want to do that? What do you think you're going to do with that? It's that kind of stuff. And could even be, what is it? Let me just pull a couple more actually before I even say anything. Before the channel messages start coming through. It's why also are we so defensive in our hearts to the point where we end up hurting ourselves in terms of relationships. We've structured our ability to, or maybe non-ability. We've structured a lot of the relationships in our lives, or our ability to have a relationship, in a really unsustainable way. It doesn't look like you can build upon something if you're constantly fighting against it. If you continue to be defensive and to not allow yourself to love, then love will not come in. If you don't have that full cup of love for yourself, then that's something we got to deal with here. We might be acting like, we're really happy and satisfied and our ego's doing good and we're, good with where we're at. But all these other cards tell a whole different story about what we need to change, and that we're really deeply actually unsatisfied with some aspects about how even we go about things, especially in terms of relationships, but how we're unhappy. We're unhappy with a lot of the structure of things, and it takes a lot of courage, but I know and I can see here that you guys do something about it this week. You have the Strength card there. That's courage, perseverance, and such a beautiful and strong energy. I love the Strength card. It's really, why can't I say the word? I'm sorry, it's not coming to me right now. I just had it and now it's just like, thank you, Mercury in retrograde. Because it's still retrograde as I'm doing this, so it's just great. It's like really like the last couple days of it, so it's kicking the door. It's a more courageous, more mature way to go about this that doesn't hinge on our worst aspects. It's stepping up and doing the better and right thing, even if that does take a lot of courage. That does take a lot of change within you. It's seeing what needs to be done, saying, like, we see that something is not right here. We see, something that we need to either reply to, we hear something, whatever. This is often, social media stuff, texts, calls, etc. Seeing something that we have to be strong against. It's either letting, again, a toxic relationship go, or dealing with the toxicity within ourselves about relationships as well. This is really interesting, weird reading, oh my gosh. But Four of Coins is reversed, so we're kind of allowing, you know, the ground from under us to fall out. We're no longer going to stay rooted in our ways of doing things. Yeah, we might be starting that week off with that Nine of Pentacles, but that's what we're really reconsidering this week. Who have we built ourselves up to be, and what do we allow in because of that? How do we allow, you know, what direction is our life going in, and are we happy with that? Why are we doing this? What could we be doing instead if we have the courage to look at it and really take accountability for what we're, again, not satisfied about? Because the Nine of Cups is a misinterpretation often, and also it's a very egocentric kind. It's misinterpretation sometimes of relationships and of emotion and of the situation, because we can't see past our own feelings and comfort, our own emotional place in this situation, really. But the Nine of Cups is very self-focused in a way that doesn't allow, you know, the sights, the dreams, the hopes of others to come in. It's almost overly gluttonous in some ways. You know, I'm happy with these things, so I don't need to, you know, bring these people. I don't need to change these things. But I think we need an oracle or something, because this is just such an intense one, guys. This is such an intense one. I feel like some of you, yeah, the ground does fall out from under you. And with Mars and Aries, I think that we're ready to say what needs to be said in some ways. And if we're willing to move on and let things go and let things be in the past, let our past self die, our past ways of doing things die. If we really take care of what is unsustainable and make it and work on it for a better future here, make it better, work on how we're doing this, work on ourself and our position when we are in relationships as well, you know, just like how we go about this, how we structure them, how we allow them to be built based on what we let in and the efforts that we put in, what we're expecting, what we're wanting, what are we really working towards, and do all these things match up with how we're acting? You know, there's just a lot here. Yeah, we need to get an oracle. There's too much. All the weeklies feel like mini monthlies right now because the energy is so intense. If you guys want to book a private reading, all the info is always below this video in the description box. If you want to check out Truly Divine for a compatibility analysis, a natal chart analysis, numerology, do check them out. They're amazing. And you can use my code as many times as you want for 30% off. And that is in the description box below, okay? Oof. This is from the Halloween Oracle. Pisces, you have a topsy-turvy reading here for sure. It feels really messy. So I'm not surprised that this card comes out. Midnight, the most magical hour of all. So allow yourself to relax into the benevolent darkness of midnight. You may feel this is your darkest hour, but know that the light will return again. The dawn always follows the darkest night. Know, too, that it is important to recognize that we all have darkness within us, just as we have light, and this isn't something to hide from. And yeah, and it's about whether you hide from this or not, or whether you hide from what needs to change or not this week, okay? So, I love you guys so much. Sorry for the crazy reading. It's not my fault. It's the energies. I love you guys, and have a wonderful and blessed week. Namaste.